All right, thank you very much for joining us once again. Reality Check Radio. In studio with us, we got some crazy people. Yeah, all the way from I think one of these crazy people many know. He's done some wonders in his community. I think that if you walk past him, you'll say, "Yay, ik ken mos vir jou, man." So yeah, in studio with me currently is the Giving Back project. It's in Portland, and one of the how can I say the biggest influence in that project, or one of the only influence, if you want to say, is Morne Press. Morne, welcome to Reality Check Radio. Tell us more about you.
Thank you for having me, George, and Reality Check TV. I am a appreciator for the moment. Morne Press, simple, from Mitchell's Plain. My goal is to unite the community and to unite the kids. My first vision was always to unify the kids in the Mitchell's Plain community due to the fact that we grew up in the streets. The streets belong to the kids, and we want to recreate the streets to be filled with joy and laughter. We recently on Friday had an event where we fed over 100 kids with games evening where we had 30 seconds and they had to draw, and the road was filled. So the goal of the vision of the project is to have this in every street in the community of Mitchell's Plain. That's just in a nutshell. And I also want to give a small shout out to my community there in Portland for the commitment and the positive feedback they always give the project, and I'm thankful for them that they have believed in me. In that nutshell.
I just wanted to take the people back a few years. Now, I'm proud of this gentleman sitting here, Morne Press. I got to know him as a little one. Curly red hair, very, very naughty and spoiled. But it's like they say, when you see one of the kids in the community grow up, to be such a role model, and it makes us proud to be part of that community. And one of the things that he did, and he concentrated on in the Portland community, is safety. And I think it's one of the only communities where you got a street filled with cameras. Morne, can you just elaborate on that and how it keeps your area safe?
Thank you, George, for that. What we have done in our community, and just to rectify, it's not just in my street, there's a couple of streets in Mitchell's Plain we've spoken to. The project has now been part of over 50 CCTV surveillance cameras in the Mitchell's Plain. So what we tend to do is we tend to ask community members to donate 50 Rand, 100 Rand, you name it, whatever you can. We go to businesses in the community because we believe that the local businesses must support the community in the Mitchell's Plain area. It is very important that we as individuals that live in the community, we must make them responsible. So we've asked people in the area to give some money. We have purchased, every month we've purchased one camera. Because the goal is also to have each street in Mitchell's Plain safe for the community. So every resident that donated money to the project gets access to the CCTV surveillance cameras. This is being viewed on your phone via your house. If you go on holiday, you'll be able to see what is happening in the area. We know that Portland has been under attack, and not just Portland, the whole of Mitchell's Plain has been under attack with stealing our resources from our kids. We have just recently, or 2 weeks ago, they have stolen a soccer pole from our field there in Welcome, Portland. And the problem we have is that our lighties already don't have facilities available. There's a lack of facilities in our communities, and yet these low-life criminals come into our community and they just remove that type of joy that we can give the children. So the cameras is just a small portion of how we are trying to redevelop our streets to make our area safer, not just for ourselves, but specifically for the children growing up in Mitchell.
Wow, fantastic. When you say redevelopment, does it only go for the streets? Is there any other type of activities for kids that you also redevelop?
Yes, definitely. We have recently, what I've tried with the kids was, I a saying once I've read somewhere that they say, once you take a kid by the hand, you take the parent by the heart. And this is what the goal is. The goal is to get the kids active in the street. So what we have done is we have put up a netball pole. We have put up the soccer pole that they've just stolen. So unfortunately, we have asked the kids. We have asked the kids to also pick up the papers that is laying around. So very dumping conscious. We have picked up our own dumping and dirt. We have also planted plants with the kids. We have numerous occasions where we have fundraisers with the kids, and it's free fundraisers. We don't raise any funds. We just get the kids together. We take them to Musenberg once. We had a color fun run. We have sports events. We have soccer events on the field. I can gladly say that in our latest budget from the city of Cape Town, they have donated or sponsored, whichever way you want to put it, a donation of, I think, about almost R1 million for the field, for the upgrade. So that is of constant hard work from the community members that is willing to see that to change, we have to start with ourselves. Like Michael Jackson once said, he told us that you must look to the man in the mirror. So we must start off by looking what is important with ourselves. And for me, the redevelopment of getting our kids to unify, because nowadays, George and Ishmael, kids are now, they're bound to the cell phone. It's almost like they are bound to this indoor activities, and they don't get the facilities that we had when we were younger, playing what do you call it, our seat, hide and seek that they say now. Cricket in the street. Kennedy is one of the things that I know a lot of you know about. So we are trying to make the street safer, because what happens is you as a parent, you feel intimidated by the criminals outside, the drugs that's roaming around in your streets. We are trying to re-look at how we can unite as a community of Mitchell's Plain to get these kids to play in the streets, to create the facilities. We have even gone as far to create employment in our streets. We have noticed that the bin cleaning a business is a good business for people that live in your community. Why do we have to use outsiders to come in? If there is 20 houses in your street, why can't somebody that live in the community clean the bins? That you pay these individuals. People need bread, they need money that they can utilize. We have also employed people to clean the street. That we each one give a 10 rand or 5 rand, whatever it is that you can donate, and then that money directly goes to the person cleaning the street. The goal of this is that we want to span out in every street across Mitchell's Plain, Delft, Bonteville, you name it, and we want to utilize the unification of our community members to say the important thing is always the children, the kids. We have no facilities at school for our kids. When our kids come home, no facilities at home. But what are we doing about it? Ons complain. Ons is hier om te complain. Ons weet ons bly nie Mitchell's Plain, but what are you doing in your street? What is your responsibility as a father, as a mother, as a guardian of that child? If somebody comes, God has already given me this vision. I've already seen how the place is going to look in my vision years ago. I've moved back to Portland after my mother passed away. So I've moved back, and God has given me this amazing vision of how we can unify and transform and work together as, I'm not going to use the word colored, as a people of South Africa, as a people of a community, to unify for the children of our community. And I've seen amazing things happen in the community. We are now at a point where we are just awaiting the government to come break ground in our area. Like I said, we've done the installations of the cameras for our community. We have even drawn lines in our street for parking for our cars. Like it must be just a wet area. We're trying to be a little bit white, you know what I mean? Like Claremont or like previous, yeah, you know what I mean. But we are really trying our best, and I'm giving an invitation out there to the other communities out there that's also doing, a lot of people in our areas doing amazing work. We've got people giving food to the youngsters, to the seniors. They have once every month they give a feeding or cake for the seniors. We have got so much people in our communities that is doing such amazing work, but we need we need the assistance, not just from government, from community members. Sometimes we rely on all the negative things. People think that you are perfect and living this perfect life. We are striving for perfection. Earlier I've spoken to one of the gentlemen and I said that it's not about perfection. It's about progress. As long as we progressively trying to get better at what we are doing, but the combination of the community working together for one goal, for the development of for the kids, is for me top of my my vision of what I had of unifying Mitchell's Plain specifically with safety, development, sport, outings, social development, feeding, employment. Very, very big thing in our community, whereby employment, we lack employment in our Mitchell's Plain community for our youngsters. Drugs is a massive problem, like everybody know. But my question, my invitation, and my word out there is, wat doen jy? What is your responsibility? Wat doen jy? So thank you for that, George. That's just a small.
I'm going to agree with you on what you said on something, but it's difficult to agree with you. Reason being, you're a United fan, I'm a Liverpool fan. Let's get that out of the way. So it's not easy to agree with you on anything. But yeah, you know, people like to like you said, we want to make it like a white community, and we all laugh about it, but we don't see the seriousness in that statement. The seriousness in that statement is like, when you go to white communities, you will find how the area look like. And most of the time, when we are busy dumping and we don't know how to get rid of the stuff that we dumped, and we have vandalized the schools and now we don't know how to repair the schools, we want to blame everybody, government, police, whatever, but we don't look at ourselves. And this is what I always tell people, is that white people, they have instilled it within themselves, their kids, and it's going on for generations, where they will clean up their own area. You will find after work, that guy's going to come with his broom, he's going to just clean the sidewalk in front of his house. Tomorrow night, he's going to take out the weed or the grass, not in his property, outside his property, because when that looks decent, he is instilling a certain amount of pride in his children 100%. Of the community, and that is how they start to, like you said, unify with each other, because the cleanliness draws them together. And with us, it is like the total opposite. We have so much chaos going on around us that we don't even take note of the little chaos that we are creating just by throwing out the little bit of dirt onto the sidewalk. We're breaking down the pride that we should have within 100%. Our community. So what you guys are doing with the redevelopment and trying to rebuild people economically, because I always say there's no use, you have freedom, but you don't have economical freedom. True. And that is one of the biggest problems we have in South Africa, is we've got freedoms. Everybody's so built up on this freedom, but I buy a sucker here for R4.50. Because what do I pay? But if I go to Camsbury, that same sucker is going to cost me 35 rand. So how much freedom do I have to go where I want to if I can't afford to go where I want to? So the little things that you are doing amount to such a huge aspect if people look at it correctly. And you talk about the children. Whenever people talk about children, everybody's heart melts, because we are parents, we feel. But my question not to you actually, to the viewers, the listeners out there, is that what will your contribution be? If you see your neighbors cleaning outside his fence, stop saying the things, I dink as al weer mal, I dink stoot al weer tyd, hy weet nie wat om te doen met homself. Why don't you try to do the same thing and instill that pride in your child? Make your child used to the idea that I've got the responsibility to take care of what is going on around me. Also, with what you said, that is why what you said is such a lot of things that we can look at. What you said, the more children play outside, the more we as adults are going to be outside, because we want to watch the children play. Some of us, we also envision how we used to play as kids, but 100%. It makes the environment safer, because a criminal won't go into an area where a lot of people are standing outside and watching. But because everybody's child is on his Xbox, his phone inside the house, nobody's outside, which means the roads are clear for all these wrong characters. Let me not say the wrong characters to take a hold of our communities. So I can't ask you a question really, but I just say thank you, man, for the initiative and the drive and the passion that I see that you have by pushing this.
Well, thank you very much
Let's
for that,
forward.
Ishmael. I can jump on that just to say that people do not understand sometimes the importance of motor skills development. As jy by in jou huis sit, en jy speel met jou vingertjies op 'n foon die hele tyd, you are not developing your motor skills, which is important. It is imperative for a child to play outside. And if we do not have facilities, nor do we have safety outside, unfortunately our children cannot play outside because of safety. So I'm saying this, I'm posing this again. Wat doen jy? What is your responsibility as an adult? What is your responsibility as a guardian to make sure that we have done the cameras? You can also do it. I've also told people that the camera installation we do is free. We don't charge you for the installation. We can help you for free. It's just for you to get your own money and buy your own camera. We even go as far and say, purchase your own camera. Purchase your own cabling. We'll just come assist you to come install the camera so that you can also sit in your house and look at where your child is playing. But the important thing that we as parents and guardians and adults must understand is for a kid to play outside, it develops the motor skills in that specific boy or the girl for them, and their minds, mathematically, everything for them to play with a ball. It has so much benefits. Now your kid go to school. Hulle is die hele dag miskien in die klas. I'm just making an example. They do not have the proper facilities at our schools in Mitchells Plain. If you look at most of the schools in Mitchells Plain, it's becoming where the money that's being spent is being spent on things that doesn't benefit the kids. Whereby the kids come home after school, they also sit in the house. So what is our responsibility? At least here, where our organization, or let me put it a street committee in that way, because Napier Close is where all of this started, with the people in my community and my family that supported me. But what I'm saying, if I can do it, a local bratsie van die Mitchells Plain, dan kan iedereen dit mos doen. It's just for you to come up with a concept of how to unify the children. And like you just said, when we speak about children, it warms your heart, it melts your heart, because they don't have all of this nitty-gritty things like, hulle hou nie van jou nie because jy hou veel soos die. Children, all they want to do, they want to play. So for us to create the environment for children to play is imperative towards our development for the future. Like you also touched on the cleanliness. Cleanliness is close to godliness. So if you keep your area clean, it will stay clean. And I can tell you, we have done such, the community of Portland's Mitchells Plain have done such great work. I'm also speaking about, I also want to actually mention the Portland's community in, that also then near to, Portland's Butchery. They have also installed their own cameras there. We've had a conversation with them. They've also installed like 15 to 20 cameras. So they can literally see what is happening. It might be one thing that you're adding, but we as individuals or adults must look at ways to add more safety structures, not for us, for our elder people, and specifically, but I like it, but I better moet speel, because my belief is a child in sport is a child out of court. So get them to play. The more they play, the more they learn. So once they play through learn, we can create a better future for our children. But as ons sit en complain, ons van die Mitchells Plain wil complain, they doen die verkeerd, they doen die verkeerd, kom help. Come assist us, come help us, come ask for some assistance so we can give you our ideas. I spoke to Camille, I told him, we will give you the portfolio. Like I'll give you the page and say, this is what we have done. You can do it. You can do it if you want to do it. There's no extra charge. It's just for you to put in the effort. To put the child first. And leave the complaints and try to work towards unifying Mitchells Plain. Because that's the only way we're going to create a new generation of ladies. To come up new leaders. We want proper role models in our communities. I'm not saying I'm the best role model. There's a lot of flaws and negativities and stuff. Nobody's perfect, but I'm saying in essence whereby we need to give our children opportunity to look at different role models, proper role models, create proper opportunities for our kids. Drawing, like the previous person said about the artists of rapping and drawing and using arts and culture to bring the kids together. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to just share a small and short story of the Mitchells Plain Portlands community. I will call it a success story. Lots that still needs to be done. We are not out of the woods yet, but there's still a lot of ideas and still a lot of visions I get from the great man above, whereby I need to open up the door for all types of children. Doesn't matter from what background you are. We are here to assist any community with development. Any community with, we have even gone as far as painted your parking black and yellow. You know, when you go up your parking, even before you go in, that's black. And I'm now busy painting in the on our, I don't know if it's illegal, but we are now busy painting slow down in our street because we had a horrible accident in our area. And I want to just stretch this to the community. We had an accident of a boy that got knocked. I'm talking about he flew in the air. Horrible accident. We have applied from the city for a speed bump in that street because there's a mosque in that street, as you know. So there's a lot of traffic that goes down the street. So now I spoke to the community. We told the community, in order for us to sometimes do things, we must take the bullet by the head and just do it, man. But if anybody complains about the fact that there's a process of doing it and this, then you might have to wait. Our problem is, I don't want to say this, but we are heart full of waiting. We have waited too long. It's been 30 years, like you've said, that development must happen in our community for safety. We are not asking for something we're not asking for millions of rands. The only thing our community in Mitchells Plain need is safety for our kids. Once we have safety, we can work on the development, we can work on the employment. But if our kids is not safe, as ons se kinders is safe is, and it was a future here wat ons gaat, we're not going to be happy with the future that we're going to have a future that's going to be very, very dark. So we are here, I am here, we are here as a community to show the other communities that let's look at the brighter side of life. We've got great people doing work in Mitchells Plain, Delft, wherever, Fala Park. I've met so many people on this journey that's doing amazing work. Daar is 'n goeie mens, there's more good people than bad people in Mitchells Plain. I've noticed that. And I love my small town of Mitchells Plain. I love where I come from. And I will work my ass off to get to the vision that God has instructed me to do.
Thank you, Morne. The man is passionate. He's passionate about his community, passionate about the children, and then I come and skopkori emo. Morne, I know you said it starts from oneself. The one question I want to ask you is, what was the assistance from the local municipality, because it's their jurisdiction? What was their response when you went? You've gone to them, you proposed to them, look, this is what our community need. How long did it take? I heard you said they're giving close to $1 million now. Just for other communities that want to venture in that same way, where they want to maybe go to the council or they want to go to parliament or wherever and try and get assistance, because our community is based off just dropping off memorandums, and there we leave it. It's there and we never hear of it again. So from your side, that's got the experience, that now got the funding as well, what was the process, and was it easy to get that so-called close to $1 million?
Thank you for that question, Georgie. To be honest, it was one of the most difficult tasks that you can ask somebody to do, hence because I myself am employed. I do work for a company. I work as well, so I do all of this in my spare time. When I come from work, when I am at weekend at home. But it's been a very, very difficult road, because there's a lot of roadblocks in this. I say it's $1 million, but what I told the government is this: it's $1 million over a duration of maybe 10 years of development. So for the past 10 years that I've been living in Mitchells Plain for very long, but my father used to live there. For the past 10, 15 years, there was no water on that park. We had to fight for the water. So $1 million might sound like it's a lot, but if I calculate, this is my conversation with the city of Cape Town, I calculate and I tell them, if I calculate $1 million over 15 years, it's not even, what we're looking at, 10,000, 200,000 for the year. It's quite a minute amount, and the work that you have to put in, the the push, you have to push yourself in order for you to get to the point whereby you get some type of recognition. And we do not do this, number one, to get recognized. I'm not on the radio to be recognized by anyone. I'm here to speak about what we have done. So the same thing I tell the politicians or the political part. I'm not doing this for fame. No, I'm not doing this for fortune. I'm doing this for the development of the community and for our kids. I'm not a political, I don't affiliate myself with any political party. I am here to speak as a voice for my community, for the kids of this community. So to answer your question, George, it was a very, very difficult road for me, for us as a group of people that is motivating this. It's constant emails, it's constant sending photos of what we have done, it's constant inviting, city officials to come. We had the mayor there, the mayor was there, the mayor of Cape Town, the minister Regan Allen was there, we had the minister of sport, that she was there. She also gave us some balls, etc. So they do come and they do support, and but the problem we have is it's taking a bit way too long, because our kids are literally dying on the streets, and we don't have time anymore. Time is of the essence.
And just to come in there, I just need to find out. You said that it's 1 million over 10 to 15 years. Now, in my mind, it is, if I'm in a community and somebody hands me money, or they say they want to invest in the safety of my community, did you have a say in where the money is being spent? As like you said, over so many years there was no water. Do you have a say of saying, okay, 100,000 of that million goes for water, another 300,000 goes for grass, 200,000 go for equipment? Do you have a say in that?
Because we are now at the beginning stages and they're breaking ground in October, I have had previous conversations with some of the officials to ask what is because in order for us to install things, we must know, like you were saying, what is being installed. The city cannot come to our community and make decisions based on what they think we need. We know what we need. So I haven't had a conversation whereby I sit in an official meeting with the developers of what is going to happen, but I am having that conversation currently, whereby we want to be part of what is going to be installed. What are we getting from the city? We are very grateful because there was progress, and I'm thankful for that. But we as a community would like to know what and how we can redevelop or put in our 5 cents. So that is going to happen, George. It's going to happen very, very soon. I'm hoping sooner than later. So I had a conversation with the councillor. So he said that he is going to include me or us in the conversation with regards to what type of development we are going to get.
I hope so. I hope so, Morne. Because we don't want the similar situation whereby, I don't know if you remember a few years back when the community of Mitchells Plain was so happy that funds, I think it was something R500,000 a field when they did the Stephen Regan fields, the Portland fields. And once they were done, because there was no discussion with communities, I think if you look at the status of the fields these days, I don't know how people get it right to play soccer on it anymore. And that's why I would say and encourage, if there's any city officials that's watching this, that they do get in contact with Morne and the Giving Back project, and any other project all over the city metropole, and start, communicating, liaising with community members, making sure that that need is filled, the gap is filled, and not come in and make their own thing with regards to the gym parks. It was there, they placed it there, never maintained it. If you look at how many gym parks survived in Mitchells Plain area, and I know other areas, they get maintained on a weekly basis. From your side, moving forward, Morne, I know you mentioned many things. You've also invited many people across the board. From your side, moving forward, what's the best for our children in Mitchells Plain? From, I know you said the education point of view, schools are spending the money not in the places where it's needed for the kids, but from a community point of view, what can the community do to uplift our kids that's suffering? Because most of our kids are trying to survive the dangerous place these days. From your side, the way forward as a community member, as a father, as an activist.
I would say, George, the first thing you must do is you dig the hole and plant the plant. I think that is the first thing we as individuals must do. I understand there's a lot of responsibility on fathers today, and so it is on the children of this community. They deal with a lot of social decline in our community, but we need to teach our kids to dig the hole and put the plant in the ground and close the hole so that we can develop and we can instill that type of thought that if we plant plants, I've read something like this. I don't know what is the proper meaning of it, but if we plant a plant that we are not going to one day sit under the shade, that is the true meaning of life. You have really gotten the true meaning of life. So I'm saying, pick up that spade, pick up that broom, plant that plant in your field, take your bucky or take your black bag, pick up the dirt. Because like I said previously, it starts with you. So for us, in order to get a proper future for our kids, we need to start showing them how it's being done. So it starts with you. So I'm saying be an example, not just to your kid, but to all the kids in your community, and try to just do what you can with the power that you have, and then you will see God will open up many ways, and there will be many chains opening up for you in order for you to I'm speaking about our event we had 2 weeks ago, the 30th. It was a games evening. We had over 100 kids there. 2 weeks prior to the event, or a week prior to, I had a meeting with a few of the people in our street, in our area. I had nothing. I didn't have a cool drink. I didn't have a bread. In the next week, 100 cool drinks, 100 breads, 100 cups of soup, 100 of this, 100 of this. So I'm saying this, George, if we are doing what we can do, God will just open up that doorway for us, and it comes from out of nowhere. So it starts with us to do something in our community, to start to pick up that broom, to sweep. That starts with us. So I'm saying, do something. Doen iets. Moet jy niks doen nie.
Thank you very much, Morne. That was Morne Press from the Giving Back project.
In case people want to contact him or whatever in this area, or people want to know how they can get involved.
Yeah, no worries. The Morne from the Giving Back project. Morne, how do people get hold of you?
They can just WhatsApp me, or they can go to the Facebook page and just type in Morne Press. The Giving Back platform is a bit outdated, so they can just Morne Press if you need any assistance with regards to upliftment and development in what we have done, and camera installation specifically for your street. You can just type in Morne Press, or you can contact me on 074 630 9180 for any type of development or any type of facilities of how we can assist you with getting your street surveillance, CCTV surveillance. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you very much, Morne. It's been blessed to have you in studio. Morne left us with something, a little bit of advice, knowledge for the way forward, where he mentioned, plant the seed, it starts with you. So also, it's the same thing, similar to what Faisal said in last week, is become God-fearing. And this is the way forward, not only for ourselves, but for our children. Thank you very much, Morne Press, the Giving Back project. We'll catch you again. I think tomorrow Fazluddin them is up. Ishmael is up. Ishmael, you like to say your last word there?
I want to say, I hope the Springboks win today, and I hope that we're going to beat Liverpool United another 7-love the coming season. Come on, Liverpool. Come on, Springboks.
Yeah. Predictions. Let me do your prediction for the Aussies and the Boks.
35-12 to the Boks.
I will say more or less the same, because I believe we're going to thrash them.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the English playing today. The Roses.
People from Essex.
People from Essex would have.
She's African now. She's African now. She's
Yeah,
from the soil.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a blessed evening. Enjoy the game. Please bet responsibly. All right. Take care.